levels. The cooperative relationship helped the organization in achieving its objectives. Controlling and directing behavior, use of power, sanction leadership, communication, organizational climate, organizational adaptation. So let us understand that the cooperative relationship, that is a cordial relationship in the organization, will definitely help every employee and the employer to achieve their goal or set objectives. This is done through controlling, directing behavior of the leaders, sanctioning leaderships, through teamwork and communication of organizational hierarchy from superior to subordinate, subordinate to superior, and organizational adaptation to the culture and environment and different types of employees. Hawthorne's effect. Hawthorne effect, we can understand, was explained with the help of experiments. These were 4 types of experiments: elimination experiment, relay assembly test room. There was an interviewing experiment, bank writing test room experiment. So Hawthorne gave 4 kind of the experiments showing the effect of the organizational behavior of employees and employer relationship. So let us see these kind of the experiment. The first one is the elimination experiment. Hawthorne said that this experiment was conducted to establish relationship between output and the elimination. When the intensity of the light was increased, the output also increased in the factory outlets or the place where the workers were working. The output showed an upward trend even when the illumination was gradually brought down to the normal level. Therefore, it was concluded that there is no consistent relationship between the output of the workers and illumination in the factory. There must be some other factor which affected the productivity. In shorter terms, we can understand elimination experiment of Hawthorne as there were the factory workers who were working and he wanted to test the productivity whether it is getting affected due to changes in the illumination or lightning system. It was increased and decreased, but the performance of productivity was same. So that means illumination doesn't have any direct relationship on the productivity of the employees. Next is the relay assembly test room experiment of Hawthorne. This phase aimed at knowing not only the impact of elimination on production but also other factors like length of working day, rest hours and other physical conditions. In this experiment, a small homogeneous work group of 6 girls were constituted. These girls were friendly to each other and were asked to work in a very informal atmosphere under the supervision of a researcher. Productivity and morale increased considerably during the period of the experiment. Productivity went on increasing and stabilized at a higher level even when all the improvements were taken away and the pretest conditions were reintroduced. The researchers concluded that the socio-psychological factors such as feeling of being important, recognition, attention, participation, cohesive work group and non-directive supervision held the key for the higher productivity. So we can understand the productivity and morale increased during the period of experiment of these girls, where they were given a cordial atmosphere to work and there was a supervision of the research also on this. That means the environment or atmosphere is important for cohesive work group and supervision also leads to higher productivity. Mass interview program. The objective of mass interview program was to make a systematic study of the employees' attitudes which would reveal the meaning which their working situation has for them. The researchers interviewed a large number of workers with regard to their opinions on working conditions and supervision. Initially, a direct approach was used whereby interviewers asked questions considering the importance of by the manager and the researchers. The researchers observed that the replies of the workmen were guarded. Therefore, this approach was replaced by an indirect technique where the interviewer simply listened to what the workmen had to say. The findings confirmed the importance of the social factors at the work and the total work environment. Bank writing test and the bank wiring test room experiment. This experiment was conducted by Dixon with a view to develop a new method of observation and obtaining more exact information about social groups within a company, also finding out the causes which restricted the output of productivity. The experiment was conducted to study a group of the worker under conditions which were as close as possible to the normal. So this group comprised of 14 workers. So students will continue in the next class. That's all for today. Please take down the notes. Thank you.